Hello and welcome to Whiskey with Rye. I'm Rye, and the whiskey I'm with today is Wild Turkey Forgiven. Every episode, I'll talk about the backstory of the whiskey, the nose on the whiskey, talk about the whiskey when it's served three different ways: straight, with water, and on the rocks. So, Wild Turkey Distillery was the second stop on the Bourbon Trail, and probably the most memorable tour that we had. We had an ex Marine drill instructor named Bubba down in Kentucky, and Bubba liked Wild Turkey for that bold flavor, and he would tell you repeatedly that he was into Wild Turkey for that bold flavor. So the Forgiven isn't actually one of Wild Turkey's bourbons, and it's not technically one of their ryes. It's actually a blend of one of each. So the story behind it is that it was a clerical error that accidentally combined an older bourbon and an older rye into one product. There's not a specific mash bill release. There's not a specific proportion of the blend, so we don't know how much is bourbon, how much is rye. But it's probably 75 corn, 13 rye, 12 barley bourbon, and a 37 corn, 51 rye, 12 barley rye. I can say that with confidence because that's really the only mash bills they use for each of those products. So again, it is a blend. It is a whiskey. It's not a bourbon. It's not a true rye. I wouldn't call it a true rye. But it is also one of their most kind of least known products. Everyone knows the Wild Turkey 101, the Rare Breed, the Russells. But this is, again, just kind of a unique, fun, different thing. So as always, we are going to go over it neat or straight with water, and then we'll also have it on the rocks. So let's get into it, shall we? There we go. That's a good sound. Hopefully that transferred over. Or that one a little heavier because we'll use that for the water. A little less on that one, just for the ice. Set that aside. So first, we will get into the nose just on the straight or neat pour of the whiskey. Again, in our Glencairn. As I have to stop Lago from trying to drink the whiskey. So this one is kind of different just because it isn't a true bourbon or just bourbon, and it's not just rye. So it kind of has different aspects of both. On the nose, I'm kind of getting almost a brininess. Not like saltwater brine, but kind of like almost pickle brine, as weird as that is to say. It does still have the caramel, the vanilla, those kind of notes right at the beginning. But again, kind of behind that, it's got this little bit of like dill pickle brine back there. And that may just be a floral, more of a floral note, and I'm picking it up as a dill pickle. But it's not super complex. It's just kind of there. It doesn't take you on a journey. It's just kind of a plain nose, to be honest. And then it almost kind of smells like birthday cake. Kind of that, sweet, cakey, bready scent that you get like a fresh baked cake. So, all right. That's enough for the nose. Let's get into the taste, shall we? So on the taste, it's almost like a biscuit. I think is the best way I can put it. Kind of bready, but a little sweet on the bread. Maybe like a cornbread muffin. Hmm. Again, it's not doing too much. Really, just the flavor is what it is. It's good. I don't know that I would necessarily come back to it. Like, I wouldn't go out of my way to find this. But that's a fun thing about whiskeys is each time you go back to them, They always seem to change. So they're always a little bit different depending on how long the bottle's been open or how long your glass has been sitting there. There's going to be something different. What you've eaten will also affect how you taste it. Yeah, so at the end, kind of going back to that birthday cake, just kind of that sweet, like yellow cake. Yeah, I mean, it's nice, which it just doesn't blow me away, you know? And for something that's a little more expensive from Wild Turkey, you would want it to blow you away, I would think. So now we are going to move on to water and on the rocks. So again, I have my handy dandy Yeti here. We're going to pop one rock into that, let that sit for a little bit, let it melt, and let it chill the whiskey as well. And I guess since we're here, we'll give one to Lago as well. Maybe he'll stop eating the rug that way. And then we will add some water to this one. Not too much. Yeah, that's about it. So the Forgiven does come in at 91 proof. So again, a specific proof, it's probably they're going for a specific flavor profile or trying to get the most out of the barrels, the most bottles that they can. So we'll give that a swirl. We'll let the water get in there and do its things with the essential oils and different oils in the alcohol, and change it up a little bit, and we'll then see what it does. So it's really opened up the herbal notes that rye brings to the party. So rye will bring a lot of spice, a lot of vegetation, a lot of, again, herbal notes like grass and pepper and um, hay and things like that, and flowers. It also will sometimes bring an anise and black licorice flavor to it, or a scent, as the case may be. I'm getting a little bit more of like the fresh cut grass or fresh hay than it was before. Oh wow! So actually, with the water, and I enjoy it more with the water for once. It really punches you with black pepper, like fresh ground black pepper. Like if you put it on like a Caesar salad, you have a rough, coarse grind on it, and you kind of bite into that piece of pepper. It's kind of the punch that you get with a little bit of water added. Yeah, that really, really carries through, and it dries your mouth out at the end from the wood. Again, hi Lago, hi bud. So this is Lago. He is just over 5 months old now. So he and his brother Rio will often make an appearance in these videos. Yeah, no, that's nice. I like it better with the water than I do straight for once. So again, as required, there is proof that there is an ice cube in there, and we'll give it a try, chilled in with water. Oh, it's a lot sweeter on the nose. A lot more caramel forward. It doesn't seem to have opened up that herbal note whatsoever, which is interesting. You would have expected it to, right? You're essentially adding the same thing, just lowering the temperature. All right, let's dive in. Okay, it's not as sweet as the nose. Like it's a lot sweeter on the nose than on the taste with the ice. Again, some of that pepper, but also a lot of the herbal notes are coming through, like like a dry hay more. Maybe a little sweetness at the end, kind of like a bittersweet chocolate more than anything else. I think I definitely prefer it with just the water, and then the ice, and then straight. Yeah, going back to the water one, still a lot more drier. It dries your mouth out a lot, but it has that spice still from the rye, which I like a lot. So yeah, so with water, with ice, and then straight, which is really rare for me in my preferences with whiskey. But yeah, so that has been Wild Turkey Forgiven from Wild Turkey Distillery. Please feel free to leave comments if there's anything specific, any specific whiskeys you would like to see. Let me know, and if I have it, I'll be more than happy to review it, or maybe I can go out and get it. The Forgiven is a little harder to find. It is a special release, but I would say there are probably a lot of better products out of Wild Turkey. The Russell's Reserve, rye or bourbon. I've heard great things about the Rare Breed. Haven't gotten to that one yet. It is on my list. So hopefully we'll be able to review that further on down the road. So until next time, cheers, and thank you for joining.